Chronicles of Crime 2400 was published in 2021 by Lucky Duck Games. It was designed by David Sikurel and Wojciech Grykowski and illustrated by Mateusz Gebreselassie and Mateusz Kamada. In this game, 1 to 4 players work together to solve cases and catch criminals. Set in Paris in the year 2400, it's an app-assisted game, meaning you'll need a phone or tablet. I've reviewed all Chronicles of Crime boxes so far, so I'll add links to the first 2 games in the Millennium series 1400 and 1900 at the end of this video explaining how to play. Because of that, I'm focusing on what's different. One last thing, narrative is everything in these games, so I'll avoid spoilers where possible, but it won't always be possible. To break it down, visit locations to search for clues, scan cars to ask suspects about items and one another, and piece together clues in order to solve the cases. That's Chronicles of Crime 2400. Chronicles of Crime 2400 doesn't have player areas, but the board and locations mean you should save this for dining tables. Our average game was an hour and 50 minutes, including setup and takedown, but different players and choices can significantly affect length. Save this for weekends. This is pure cyberpunk, corporate espionage, violence, and clever use of tech, including figuring out who cyberspace avatars belong to. I think this is the most mature Chronicles of Crime aside from Noir. Don't play this with kids younger than 10, and even then, I'd say 11 or 12 minimum. In our 5th game of Chronicles of Crime 2400, we were completely invested in the final case. It ties a lot of things together, and we were, like in the earlier cases, really enjoying it. We were confident that we had the perpetrator cornered, but the game bugged on us. We were stuck in cyberspace, unable to scan any cars or exit. Because it had autosaved, we had no choice but to quit. It's unfortunate because, spoilers, I love 2400 and many games from Lucky Duck Games, yet more and more serious app issues. Chronicles of Crime DLC, Destinies, and now Chronicles of Crime main releases. Chronicles of Crime 2400's Raven Companion is like having all of your contacts in one. Unlike your dog, Percival, in 1400, you don't send your Raven out. You instead access its database on people and things. The new implant mechanism is super cool. You don't have them all at the start because things would be too easy. You would be overpowered. Instead, you may start with one, or maybe you come across one at a location or when talking to someone. They're like your abilities in Noir. They can be brilliant in a tough spot, but using them at the wrong time can be punishing. I touched on cyberspace earlier, but it's a new location where you chat with avatars. Sometimes the avatar will tell you who they are, but are they truthful? You'll have to figure that out as part of the mystery. The way the people within the city act and live out their lives, yet again, pulls you into the world. These games really feel alive, especially in the Millennium series because your character often sees minor or major connections between the cases. The sense of time passing makes you feel like you lived the stories. I've talked about this before, but Chronicles of Crime is not a fast game. You spend a lot of time talking as a group, puzzling things out, exploring, sometimes at the wrong location, or even backtracking. Add that to the theme, and this isn't a game of smiles and sunshine. The topics can be disturbing. This won't be for everyone. Like others in the series, it's really only replayable if you forget things easily or you want to try to beat your score. Chronicles of Crime 2400 places a game I already love in a fun and thematic time period. It feels like a cyberpunk version of my favorite in the series, Noir, and because of this, immediately becomes one of my favorite expansions. The great thing about this series is something that might bug heavy gamers who prefer games with a lot of strategy and gameplay decisions. You're just talking and deducing things. You can play these games with non or new gamers who love mystery books and movies because the app is so intuitive to use. Every bug we've ever had with a Lucky Duck release has been patched out, so I'm not concerned about that one I talked about in Storytime. With that said, in the future, maybe fans should hold off a bit before buying until things have been tidied up a bit.